Welcome. Let's talk about water and methods of separation of water. So here we start with a very simple process, and that is removal of the dirt. So let's say your water is mixed with sand. Keep the water for a while and you would see that the sand or the mud would settle down. So what would happen is the clear water would be seen onto the top and the sand would be seen at the bottom. This process is known as sedimentation. So under sedimentation, the clear water on the top is called as supernatant and the muddy water or the sand below is called as sediment. So this process of separating the insoluble solute. So this solute is what? Solute is one which dissolves in the solution. So solute dissolves in the solution, but this solute is what? It is insoluble. It does not dissolve and therefore it settles down. Now once it settles down, the same thing I am using further. So I take a beaker and I pour the top clean water, and this is a clean water that I am pouring, and the sand would remain behind, right? This process is what is known as decantation. So understand, if I am settling down the sediments, it is called as sedimentation, and after settling down, if I am removing the clean water, the top clean water, this process is known as decantation. So two processes we have understood. The supernatant which was left is now transferred into another beaker, and the heavier sand which was there remains behind. So this heavier sand would remain behind and the fresh water would be poured into a separate container. The next is the process which is known as filtration. So when there is insoluble substances which are present, I take a filter paper, I keep it on a funnel in a flask and I pour the solution. So what would happen is everything which cannot be filtered, the insoluble particles would remain on the filter paper. So these are the solid particles which would remain, and then I would get a clear liquid in the flask. This clear liquid would be called as filtrate. The white paper that I am putting here to remain so that the insoluble solvents remain above, which cannot be dissolved, is known as filter paper, and this whole process is called as filtration. So from a porous membrane like that in the filter paper, I am separating the liquid